What's up guys, Mike here from MyKeyVlogs, and today I'm going to be showing you my new Honda NC750S. I say new, it's actually about a month old and I've been really enjoying it. Would highly recommend this bike. Basically this retails for about £5,899. There is another upgrade that you can get to the bike. It has DCT, which is dual clutch transmission. However, that does come at a price. It's about £600 extra. It's not something that interests me, but it may do others. Also, you have the X model, which is a little bit higher up. There's some extra tweaks on the bike and it's a bit more fared. If you don't like the S, then definitely give the X a go. You may actually find that's more appropriate, or vice versa. You know, I actually really enjoyed riding the X, but it wasn't quite for me, and I ended up getting the S, and I think it's absolutely perfect. You know, for commuting, for that little bit of extra storage that you wouldn't get on another bike unless you've got a top box and whatnot. It's just a great bike to ride. So yeah, would highly recommend it. Anyway, so I'm going to give a little walk around on the bike just so you know what this thing has to offer. There's quite a few little bits to it that I think that you guys will like. So first of all, if we just talk about the engine. Now, I'm not going to go too deep in specs. I'm not very good when it comes to, you know, like in-depth specs and whatnot, but the engine is actually to the side, so something about it basically is just makes it really good and well balanced. When you're actually on the bike, it feels very light and it's really easy to maneuver. If you're manually moving it around, like parking it up and all that, and you're pushing or pulling the bike, whatnot, then yeah, you're gonna feel the weight to it. It is a heavy bike. Just when you're on it, you don't feel that. This bike comes with ABS as standard. Now, if we take a look at the front, no, it doesn't look too bad. Obviously, everyone has their own style. I think it looks pretty good, especially to the side there. You do get this screen here, which is fairly small, so when you're going at high speeds, yeah, you're going to get a little bit of wind hitting you, but there is a bigger screen available if you want that. I didn't really like the style of that, so I decided to not to go for that. We've got the front brake lever. That actually has an adjuster there, so that goes from 1 to 6. On the clutch lever, however, there's no adjustments. And then on the front, you've got the high beams, and you press that down to pass. You've got the hazard lights, as well as the horn, which, to be honest, it would be good if I actually put the keys in, and that way it's a bit of like a little toot. There we go. So it's fairly loud. Then you've got your indicators, right, left, etc. You push it in to cancel it. On the right, you've just got your kill switch and the start button, and obviously you've got your throttle as standard. The bike does come with data tag and also Honda ignition security system, which will actually really reduce your price in insurance. It's actually reduced the HISS alone, reduced my premiums down by £200, which is absolutely crazy. I didn't actually expect that. The key, however, if you were to lose that, it's going to cost you quite a bit to get that replaced. They're not cheap. But that said, if you're careful with them and you don't lose them, then that reduction in insurance premiums is going to be well worth it. So as for the screen, it's all digital. You've got up here, you've got the rev counter there, and god damn, it's a little bit glary, so I do apologise. Hopefully you can see this. So you've got your indicating icons, you've got your ABS light there, which will go when you're going about like 5 miles per hour plus. You've got the HISS light there. I believe you can actually activate this so it flashes. I guess that just gives a little warning signal to people and whatnot. You've got your high beam light, like oil there. That's your temperature gauge, neutral, and I think that's just something to do with the engine, whatnot. But yeah, just all your standard stuff and all that. As for the display, you've got your total mileage to the left here, and just below that you've got the time. Then you've got your speedometer, followed by the gear indicator. If I put this into gear, gonna put this in gear 2. There we go. So gear 2, pretty neat. And if you're in neutral, we'll just go blank. Then you've got your fuel capacity there. So I'm getting quite low. You can also change this to like different, for instance, like trip A, trip B. You've got the mile per litre, etc., average mile per litre, and so and so. There's a good amount of information there if you want that, but it's down to you what one you want to use. Okay, so that is the front covered. Now let's talk about the storage. So the key is just on the left side of the bike. Oh, wrong way. So if you've got to twist it to the right to get access to the storage compartment. Now this has a large modular helmet in, or other flip top, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, it can fit a large helmet in there, no problem whatsoever. Obviously there's not really much space apart from that. You can stuff a few bits within the helmet, etc. But you know, this is great if you're going to pick someone up who's going to be a pillion. Then, you know, if they don't have a helmet, then it can store that spare helmet in. Really useful. Also, if you're going shopping or whatnot, you don't have to rely on an ugly looking top box. You know, you've got this storage already with the bike, so you're already saving money on you know, on storage capacity. It's fantastic. I personally think this is definitely one of the biggest selling points of this bike. And then the fuel, there we go, twist that left, and it's underneath the pillion seat. And there we have it. So it's pretty neat. Just flick that down. Voila. As for the seat, it's very comfy, and with the pillion seat, although you can't quite see, it looks a little bit slanted now, but you know, there's a slight slant to it, but it's not to a level where people are going to be sliding into you. It's a very comfy seat, and you've got these really awesome grips to the side, so anyone who's pillion have got this to give them extra security, just to make them more comfortable that they've got something to hold on. It's absolutely solid. That's not going anywhere. A lot of pillions I've taken have complimented on how comfortable the bike is. The only one thing that we would change really is the pillion pegs. They are a little bit, you know, too far forward. Not greatly, but just, you know, basically I like to have my feet on here tiptoed unless I'm changing gears, which normally clashes with their feet. I didn't have that problem with my old bike, but this one I have seemed to be getting that problem. But all it takes is just the person adjusting their feet, and then that's that problem eradicated. But it would be nice if these were a little bit further back, so that, you know, we wouldn't have to compromise on feeting positions. Underneath the bike, there is no rear hugger. I would have loved to see one, but it's just one of these extra money making things. I think, you know, I mean, a rear hugger is going to cost you about £100 if you want an official one. Otherwise you can get an aftermarket. I think it's about what's this called, Pyramid. Yeah, Pyramid do one for about £60, so you're not an entire loss, but it would have been nice if they had included one. Rear side of the bike doesn't look too bad. Quite neat. You can get a tail tidy, but personally I don't think there's any point for that. And then finally you've got the exhaust, the stock exhaust, very big and bulky, just like pretty much every other stock exhaust. They've got to meet emissions and whatnot, legislations and whatnot. However, once I've actually paid off the bike, I'm going to get an aquapobic exhaust. Can't wait for that. It's going to be a little bit costly, but you know, hopefully once I've paid off this bike I can get that sorted. There's other accessories that you can get as well. I've got crash bungs. These cost about 200 quid. Freaking expensive, but if the bike were to go down, I guarantee that's gonna save more than £200 worth of damage, so definitely worth getting. And apart from that, that's pretty much it. That's the walk around on the bike. I think it's a fantastic bike, well worth every single penny. You know, I've already saved money on fuel, and it's just a very, very good bike to ride, so definitely would recommend it. Go to your local dealer, whatnot, if one's available, and get on a test ride. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to catch you on my next video.